This lesson is about a new kind of loop. So we've spent a couple of lessons now just talking about looping concepts. We've done regular repeat loops. We've done nested loops. I gotta start over. In our last two lessons, we've seen how powerful loops can be, but there's still more that you can do with loops. In fact, today we're going to learn about a new type of loop, and this is a special kind of loop that combines a conditional statement, an if, with a loop together. And this is the sort of thing that you're going to need if you ever have a task to complete in programming where you don't know how many times ahead of time that you need to repeat something, right? What if you are programming a robot that can drive, right, and you want it to drive to the end of the street where the stop sign is? Well, you have a repeat loop there that says keep driving, keep driving, keep driving, but you don't know how many feet, right? You can't measure that ahead of time. So instead you need some kind of loop that says keep driving until you get to a stop sign. Keep looping until this happens, okay? So in code.org they do that by taking a break from the artist, and we move to the farmer challenges. These are really fun. The first 3 or 4 of them are really kind of review. You're using your common commands that you've already used with the artist and with the Angry Bird challenges. But then when you get up to bubble number 5, that's where they introduce this whole new block. And that's this beauty right here. It's called a while loop. So here's an example where it is possible to do this with repeat loops because you can see how many holes there are and how deep each hole is. But what if you wanted to write a program that would fill in any row of holes, no matter how long or how short? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to code that? Okay, so for example, I'm going to do this one for you. If there's a path ahead of her, she should move forward, then she should fill in 5 layers, and that can be done with a repeat loop. So here I've got a while loop with a repeat loop inside of it. We're nesting. And then after she's done filling in that hole that's 5 layers deep, she's just going to go back up and check, is there a path ahead again? Right? And if there is a path ahead again, then we should keep moving forward and keep filling until there isn't a path ahead anymore, and then she'll stop and move past this while loop block. So pretty powerful, right? I only wrote 4 lines of code here, and it did a pretty complex task. That's about all I have to say, actually. I made a nice slide here, but you need to grapple with these yourself. Again, they're perfect for a situation where you need to keep doing something until something changes. And technically, if we're talking about analyzing the algorithm structures here, what this is doing is it's mixing iteration with selection. Now selection is like an if block. We had if blocks right away in the beginning of this course. So there's an if hiding in here, right? While path ahead means if there's a path ahead, then keep looping. It is possible to achieve this sort of logic without a while loop. Like you can use a repeat loop and achieve the same sort of behavior as a while loop with a repeat loop. But in order to do that, we're going to need to learn how to take advantage of variables and internal storage of the computer, and we haven't done that yet. So in the meantime, we're going to learn while loops, and this is the way everybody does it anyway. Now one last thing, they don't teach you this in code.org, but that repeat loop that's inside of there, in the real world in JavaScript, nobody says repeat loop ever. That phrase doesn't come out of any programmer's mouth. What does come out of your mouth is for loop, because in JavaScript, when you want to code a repeat loop, you actually have to type the word for. And here it is. There's the while loop, which is the word while in JavaScript, and the repeat loop in JavaScript starts with the word for. So if you want to sound smart, then you should start talking about while loops and for loops. Happy coding.